Back to the Hennessy Performance Racing League. We are back with college football action. It's been a minute, but we are here. We have the new game, College Football 27. Just came out in the last couple weeks. Everybody's been excited about the new look Dynasty. We've put in a lot of effort, and tonight we are going to be showcasing the schedule reveal for all 32 users that we have in Season 1. Should be pretty exciting. I'm joined by Joker, who is the head coach of USC. Say hello, Joker.
Hello. Hello, hello.
And then we got Mason, the head coach of the Georgia Bulldogs. Might be here, might be not.
Hello. Hello, hello.
We got Furch in here, who is the head coach of Alabama this year. I don't know how he got Alabama, but Furch, how we doing?
Take it back a little bit. Hello, how's it going, everyone?
And then the last fan that we got in the booth here for this episode is Electric Days. What, three-time champion of Dynasty in the HPL?
Nice little, not HPL, but one time, soon to be 2 times.
Okay.
Soon, okay.
He is the head coach of the Oklahoma Sooners this year, so everybody knows their team as of now. If you're tuning in, we're gonna just go through conference by conference and look at all the user schedules on the board. So, I think let's just get right into it. I mean, let's start here in the ACC. The ACC is probably the weakest conference here, considering they only have 4 users. That's just kind of how things lined up and where certain teams decided to pick. But we will start here with the Clemson Tigers, who was chosen by Brink. He, I think, had them in the last Dynasty, maybe on the last game, but he is here at Clemson. We can see, I guess before I really get into this, I should say that every single user will have at least 7 other user games. I think it worked out to where one team had 10 users, but the majority of teams will have between 7 and 9 user games. So, looking at the schedule for Brink, he's going to start week 0 with Arizona State, who is turf. These guys are very familiar with each other. They've played each other quite a few times. We got TCU in here. That is a new add to the league. That is color. And then we got Furch in Alabama. We got conference matchup against Miami. And then we get down another conference matchup against Florida State, who is my team this year. And then the last user game is at Texas, which is Heredia landed Texas this year. So, any thoughts about this schedule? And we can sort of start to get into predictions as well if we want to.
I mean, pretty tough out-of-conference schedule is multiple ranked. So, that'll definitely do something there.
In what way? Talk about the out of conference. Oh, Furch is lagging out. That's why he stopped talking.
But
okay.
I just feel as though.
But yeah, I mean, the out of conference, I think for Brink's capabilities, I don't think he has to worry about giving the win to any of these guys, right? He's going to have to play them.
We have seen that in the past where Brink decides not to play people because they are better than him, so. Hopefully that's not happening.
I think all of these games are very within reach, right? Whether he wins them or not, I think they're all obtainable victories, and
they'll be competitive.
The game against KU will be interesting, right? It'll be. I think that's probably his toughest game. I think I think this is kind of like one of the easier. I mean, this is only the first schedule, but I think one of the easier schedules I'll see of so far.
Yeah. Anybody else got anything to add, or? Should we get into predictions here? I'm thinking.
Here we go.
Okay. Electric's ready to say something.
It's not bad. It's like a calm schedule for Brink. Remember, Clemson don't have a QB that's like anything was really good or decent. So yeah.
Clemson did lose Klubner.
Yeah, not
I
the
just-
same powerhouse.
Yeah.
What?
I just wish I could have got him week 0, but we
Mm.
can't always get what we want, right?
Right, and you're gonna see how
Beggars
you got
can't
what
beat
you
you.
wanted on your schedule.
Beggars can't be
Right,
choosers.
real fruitful schedule of Georgia.
Well, all right. I guess time for the schedule prediction.
Prediction?
Yeah, I'm saying for the user games, I'm saying wins
1 and
over.
5.
I think he beats Heredia, and I think he beats Color. I think he loses the rest of these, and I think he probably drops one of the CPU games. So,
Oh,
About 8-4 then.
that'd be what? This is a loss. This is a loss. This is a loss. This is a loss. Yeah, like 7 and 5. We'll say 7 and 5.
okay. I'll say 7 and 5 as well. I think there one user. I mean, I think he could beat Heredia, but I think by week 11, once Heredia has played a few people, hopefully he hasn't rage
I think he
quit.
could beat Heredia and then probably like Perth or Color. It's a 50-50 on those two.
Yeah, there are a handful of people that we aren't super familiar with. I would say the majority we've seen them in the Dynasty before, and we kind of know their skill level, I guess. But yeah, there's definitely a few people we'll have to watch out for. So, any other predictions on this?
Yeah, I'd probably say 8-4 with slight sniff at that conference championship. Maybe like third place team.
Well, there's only 4 users, so
Yeah, there is only 4 users in the ACC this year.
All right.
Everybody's just ducking me. They don't want to be in the same conference as Florida State.
Pass heavy offense apparently.
All right.
Can't deal with it.
Speaking of Florida State, let's just get right into it, right?
Oh.
oh,
Third season's strong.
Nice little A-class matchup in week 0 at Texas A&M.
Yeah.
We will be seeing all the male cheerleaders at Kyle Field. That will be most likely a game that will be a game of the week, if I had to guess, based on some of these other matchups.
the week 0 schedule. We'll have to see how that fully turns out.
Yeah, and then we got a couple other games against a few good friends of mine, Color and Mike G. Excited to see what Color has. He just sort of started playing it, but will be fun to match up with him. I played Mike G quite a bit. All of our games seem to come down to the fourth quarter. Usually he has a lead on me at some point, and I'm able to come back in the second half, so we'll see if that's any different. That's going to be a tough game on the road. And then kind of get into the meat of the conference schedule here. 3 straight games against Miami, Clemson, Georgia Tech, the other users in the ACC. And then the big rivalry game against Florida last week of the regular season against DBJ, who has won the championship in this league a couple of times. So 7 games, I think, here. So I mean, I guess I think this is a very manageable schedule as long as I don't lose focus. I think 10-2 seems about in the ballpark. What do we think?
I mean, I think this is also one of the easier schedules I've seen.
I mean,
I
the
feel
whole
like I
ACC,
might say that often.
I'd say, is probably on the
I just think
easier
the out
side.
of conference are kind of like you're playing a guy who didn't get college football 26, and both of them didn't. Did they both not get college football 26?
They did not. No.
Yeah. But I mean, you do get some difficult games against DBJ and Captain Dead Dad
Captain's
towards
usually
the
a good
end.
user. Yeah.
I had a close game with Steven Smith too, who's the user of Miami. So, but yeah, I think 10-2 is definitely like the floor, I think
Okay.
definitely one of those like you should
No,
be at no 2 or 1 losses minimum. I feel like 3 or more is kind of like what happened.
Yeah.
knowing the way that this game plays and knowing the way that like the past have played and the style of offense you like to run, considering how much more difficult passing has been in this game, I would probably say right around 10-2, 9-3, something like that.
Where are the 3
There's
losses?
there's bound to be flukes every once in a while. I'd say probably like end of the season. I think DBJ just because of like the level of competition compared to like overall wise that could get you there. And then I feel like there's just a trap game. There's 1 or 2 trap games that might just come up and just get a little punch right in the face that we don't know about.
I think you run Brink out of the stadium by 40.
Okay.
I mean, they are evenly matched. They both are the same overall team.
Yeah. I mean, I've played Brink quite a few times, so we're both pretty familiar with each other, but Electric? Do we have any thoughts on this schedule?
I think this is a calm schedule. It's not really tough at all from what I'm expecting, from what I'm seeing. I think you low-key win I can see you win almost every game, except for the toughest game possibly for you would be, the Florida game, and that's pretty much it. I think Cap, you beat him, you beat Clemson, you beat Miami. I believe in you to beat them teams in Texas A&M. I think it might be a little bit of a dogfight, but you still come out on top. So
I think that's going to be probably the most important game right out of the gate, just getting off to a good start.
That last game of the season, having Florida there, definitely gives you a big help in terms of getting into the conference championship week for sure too. Gives you real tough competition going into that.
Yeah, I think if we missed the conference championship game, then something probably went pretty bad. So, but we'll see. Everybody's still trying to figure out the game, and yeah, I think for the most part, just considering just the newness of this game, everybody's gonna have a few games they drop here and there. I think it's gonna be very tough for anybody to go undefeated. Even 1 loss is gonna be very, very good for a lot of people. So, yeah, I guess we can move on to the next user in the ACC, which I believe is Georgia Tech. So,
here we go.
Opening it up at the defending champs, Indiana. That is Mr. Hex. This year is taking over that squad in week 0, and then a couple Big Ten games. I think we were all a little bit surprised when Captain did not place a bid on Ohio State. He's had Ohio State at least last year in the Dynasty, and then the good old rivalry game against Ty Racing.
Yeah.
There's always a lot of chirps going on there, so that should be interesting. And then a couple in-conference matchups, and then another big rivalry game against Georgia Bulldogs at the end here.
Yeah, he thinks he's doing something picking
Spoiler,
Georgia.
That's trap game for Georgia. Georgia might be at home, but trap game.
Yeah, and I think the other thing is his schedule is a little bit up in the air. I feel like as far as if he's going to be able to play all of these games, so that's somewhat of a factor I think to keep in mind. But Georgia Tech, not necessarily the best team in here. I think they'll probably be, as far as like overalls, they'd probably be favored to lose against all these user matchups for the most part. So
I think Georgia Tech is the second lowest overall
user team. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm gonna say 8-4 feels about right for them. Just the combination of him not necessarily knowing if he's gonna be able to play all these games, and then also, Georgia Tech is at a little bit of a deficit in terms of overall. So I think 8-4 would be a pretty good season. It probably won't be enough for the playoff, but get a nice bowl game, get some momentum going into season 2.
Yeah, I'm thinking 8-4 as well. I think just playing Miami, Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, Indiana, like the overall difference is just kind of the bigger. I think he could hold his own against Michigan, but in Michigan's going to be tough. I think playing Ohio State, that 15 overall difference is probably going to be too much. And then Indiana first game, I think Hex will probably beat him just because he knows his team a little bit better. I think Hex has been playing with Indiana, so I'll go 8-4.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just kind of noticed this. A lot of the user games are on the road as well, so that's not always the easiest.
Wonder who did that.
Does have a lot of road games, which that's why I was about to say 7-5. I lean more towards 8-4 though, just because great user, but the overall subtracts a significant amount for how well the teams can perform.
Yeah. Mason, can we get a score prediction for this game?
I mean, it's just too early to tell. The only reason why I picked Georgia Tech was to try to mess with me, though. So if that tells you how much I'm already in his head, there you go.
Okay.
Starts in week 0.
All right. Well, I guess we can move on to the last team in the ACC. That is Stephen Smith and Miami. Really, really good team. They've got a lot of great skill position players. Led, of course, by Malachi Toney. This schedule, they've got, obviously they play all 3 other teams in the ACC this year, which is good. But, I think these first 3 games are really going to tell how his season is going to go. Boise State is the lowest overall team, I believe, in the Dynasty, but Deegan is a very good user. He played very well with Boise State, actually, in the last Dynasty we did in College Football 26, so I expect that to be a tough game, and then, Hex in Indiana is not going to be easy either. Auburn, I'm not really sure too much about the Auburn user, not super familiar with him, but and then we end off against BYU here and G Steezy, so what are we thinking?
I mean, if he plays this game anything like he races, I'll be surprised if he wins the game. So, I mean, I don't think we'll have a user for the Miami Hurricanes at the end of the season.
First bold prediction of the night.
There we go.
Yeah. Wait, you said he plays who else at the very end of the season? BYU, as that was?
Yes. Yep. Steezy and BYU.
Honestly, with the schedule the way that it's out, I don't really know anything about Steven. I mean, the only time I've ever anything about him is seeing his stuff in the Discord about all of our races that we have. So I can say about like 7-5. I feel like that could be a good.
All right.
Bro, cut out.
Yeah. I think Joker might be the only one in here that's like played him in CFB, so he might be able to best.
Yeah, I mean, it was a close game, but I feel like that was so long ago. And I will say, I think he has. All these games are just going to be tough because I feel like I can't really pick a winner in any of his user matchups and say they're confidently going to beat him, I believe, based on the matchups that he has. But maybe Hex is the only one I would say that he might lose to confidently, but I think he could. It's a 50-50 toss-up for all of those games, in my opinion. So
Yeah.
my prediction, I would probably say 7-5, because a lot of these users are pretty within the top half of the league, I'd say, on talent
Yeah.
level. So
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think we're looking somewhere in that 7-5, 8-4 range here. He does have a very, very good team. Miami is very, very good in this game. I think if he plays his cards right, he's going to be able to really develop this team, and next year they could be even better than this. But it's all going to be about the commitment level, and I think he's been maybe in the league for a dynasty for like a season, and then he kind of flames out after. So hard to say, but yeah, I guess I'd probably lean towards 7-5 with this schedule. All right, well, that wraps up all the ACC users. I think we will go right into the Big Ten, and we can start with Indiana, who is, as we mentioned, Mr. Hex. We've seen some of these games. He's got a nice little stretch here of 4 straight CPUs, but then the meat of the schedule is kind of in the second half here: Ohio State, Michigan, Alabama, Penn State.
Hope and prayer.
Yeah, I think Hex has put in a lot of time with this game. He was always a very solid user, I feel like, in whatever dynasties we've done in the past. Like maybe not at the high end level, but a consistent, playoff contender, I feel like. So what do we think for Indiana this year?
Honestly, I could see 10-2. Maybe his only losses are to Ohio State and you scroll up a little bit. Yeah, Ohio State and maybe a Missouri. I don't 100% know. I feel like there's just a game. I feel like there's just going to be a game or two where where the team's just gonna not be as good as Indiana's of the past. Like we kind of don't really know how well this team because of how many people they lost, due to draft and all that kind of stuff. And I know they got a lot of people in the transfer portal, but it's still a bit of a slippery slope there.
Man, there's at least like 4 losses here.
Bro.
Knowing how Hex plays, and how this game changed so much, I feel like in gameplay and play style for people, I don't feel like it went towards Hex way at all.
How would you describe Hex's play style before?
Very, very on and off offense. Very on and off defense. And don't play no defense, but very on and off offense. It just, you can't have that, especially with Indiana. I know they had a bunch of people transfer here, but they're all seniors. Everybody on the offensive line, that whole team is basically seniors. So after this year, big rebuild. But yeah, I think it's at least 4 losses, at least.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, is that he better get it this year, because, I think, as you mentioned, there are a lot of kind of 1-year rentals on this team, and we know Indiana doesn't really have the best pipelines either. I think their budget is decent, but Hex he's going to have to put in a lot of work, not just playing the game, but being able to, retain what talent he can, recruit as well as he can, and then ultimately really hit it hard in the portal like Indiana has been doing in real life recently. So a lot of pressure, I feel like, on this first season for Hex in Indiana.
Not lying about that.
But if I
scroll down.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay.
2 bye weeks
The
is going to
two
help.
like teams I think for sure are going to be like Ohio State and Penn State.
You think those are two for sure losses?
I think those two games. I mean, I know they're going to be home games for them, but I just feel as though like the level of team that Indiana is, especially being a bunch of seniors and all that. And also knowing that their team isn't the fastest of in terms of like speed and all that kind of stuff. I just don't know if they'll keep up with some of them.
Speed barely matter unless you're in open field. And it don't matter as much.
Yeah, but I know how you were talking about like style of defense he plays.
Yeah, but
Maybe
We
like
all know
secondary
we don't play
speed's not as good.
yeah.
All right, yeah. I mean, I think Hex is like, I think he is a good user, and I think he'll figure out like what's gonna work best for him. I think I'm gonna say 9-3. I think they have a very good roster this year. There are a few tough games here, but I think 9-3, and I think 9-3 in the Big Ten is gonna put you pretty close to
Pretty high.
making the playoff. I think it'll be close. I think he'll be right around in that, 10 to 14th ranked area by the end of the season, and maybe he's on the good side of it, maybe he's not. But we'll see.
Yeah, I'll
Just
say
looking at the
8-4.
Big Ten, it ain't bad.
Okay.
Losses to Zmog. I think he loses to Ohio State, and then I think he loses to Penn State, and then I think there's a CPU loss in there. Somewhere.
A
Okay.
CPU loss. A CPU loss.
All right. Well,
Next is
let's.
Michigan.
Next is Michigan. Ty Racing.
Here we go.
This
Oh.
is.
This is the match of week 2.
This is a strong schedule.
Yes, this is going to
I'm
be
loving
a
this
fun
matchup, week 2.
one. There's a very good shot this is a game of the week
Game of the week.
for week 2, just because
Yeah.
of the two personalities in this matchup.
And on the same team.
I mean, and even this one as well. But all three of these are home games for Ty, so he'll have some advantage there. But
I think
it's
most of his games are home games actually.
Yeah, he has 2
he's got a little stretch here. I think he's got 7 home games and 5 away. How it worked out, or
Oh, okay.
yeah. But
UCLA. Okay.
he's got some tough
Yeah.
opponents on here. This is obviously going to be a big match at the end with Shake. But yeah, I mean this Ty, you never really know what you're gonna get. I feel like we know his play style. He's gonna run the ball a lot, and that has gotten better in this game. It feels like, but I think some of the mental, the like football IQ stuff is where he kind of loses.
Flags.
Yeah,
The little things.
sending, playing cover 0, and getting absolutely torched when he doesn't need to. He hasn't really figured out the defensive side of the ball for sure, and I think that's really where it hurts him. And then, his offense isn't super explosive. He's kind of a control the clock guy and, take your time, but, so I don't know. There's a lot of losable. I mean, all of these user games are losable for sure. I mean, even some of these CPU games, if he lost, I don't know if we'd be terribly surprised. So
I mean, yeah, I don't. There's not one CP or user game where you say he beats that guy comfortably. Maybe Tiger.
I wouldn't say any of these games are 100% like favored by anything more than
I think he's
maybe
probably
3 points.
Scroll down.
This is.
I think I see
Low-key,
like
he
this
won
is-
4 games.
I think I
is-
see a 6-6
This is
schedule here.
4. This is 5 and 7.
I think this is
personally.
I think this is.
This is a 5.
I'll
and
give him the
7.
benefit of the doubt.
season.
Say he makes a bowl game with Michigan. I mean,
I-
normally in sim, go 6-6 is about an average
And
for them. So I feel like we could see it
and
here
in this
with the user.
and in this game, stars change pretty frequently based on program tradition, and it was another one, championship contender and some other, but they change pretty frequently. So I got 4 wins, and that's all CPUs. I ain't gonna lie to you, Coach. Nebraska, I think that's Mike G, right?
That's Mike G. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. He. I'm sorry, Coach. He got to get better at this game. His IQ is like really low. I think by far the lowest, but life happens.
The lowest in the league.
Yeah,
I could see like him against Tiger. That's gonna be a close. Tiger didn't have 26, and then depending on the situation with McCard on how that game goes, I feel like it could be a little bit of a toss-up depending on how the tempers flare, and it just depends on if Cap can play his game.
So Ty and Tiger did play a exhibition matchup, and
and he blew him out.
It did not go in favor of Ty Racing. So.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Actually.
Yeah.
I was not there for that one, so
some of the writing might be on the wall pretty early that Ty still has a long way to go to figure out this game.
Bro, about to quit the league.
The coach firing happened.
I think if we're setting I think if Vegas is setting the numbers for total wins, I think it's 4.5. I think it's and I'm not even 100% confident he's gonna beat like this at Iowa CPU game. I'm not sure. I'm gonna say 5 and 7.
I think the only for sure wins are 3 of his CPU games, Northwestern, and
I think he can find a way. I think he can find a way to beat one of these user games, or maybe he gets lucky and somebody can't play that week, and that's how he gets the win. But yeah, I think it could be a disappointing season for Michigan.
Man, why you set him up like this, man?
Guess on to the next then.
Let's go to, actually no, it is Missouri. Missouri has moved over to the Big Ten for this dynasty. Fun little week 1 matchup there between Jackson and ZMog to kick things off. Then Indiana, we got Colorado, who is Jocko. We got your tough Big Ten opponents, and then we end it on the road against Oklahoma and Electric. So what are we thinking about this team? ZMog, obviously a huge LSU fan. He wanted LSU, but he lost the wheel spin to Dank, so he chose Missouri. He chose Missouri as his backup, and there was some issues with their. I think it has probably the lowest NIL of any team in here, so he's gonna have some challenges, after this season, and putting a long-term squad together that's really strong. But
I think he'll be better off in the seasons to come with NIL, because all of it right now should be on Ahmad Hardy. Right?
Yeah.
And Ahmad Hardy's gonna be gone after the season, going to the draft. There's no way he's keeping him.
That's a fair point.
Possibilities, man.
I still think ZMog's looking for a new spot. I still think he's hoping that LSU team kind of opens up in a few years.
I think this is a solid 9-3 because Ahmad Hardy's just that X factor that some teams aren't going to be able to figure out how to stop properly.
Yeah, I don't think his issue will come this year at all. Like, I think he'll have a very good season this year. I think it's just, we'll have to wait and see after how he's able to.
Plagues Missouri normally is who's quarterback.
Anthony Simmons. No, not Anthony. Austin.
Austin Simmons.
My bad.
Yeah.
The guy that got his spot taken by Chambliss.
From Ole Miss, yeah, I think so.
But I do think ZMog is like, when things are working, like he is a very good user on this game. So I mean, I'm saying. I think 9-3. I think that's a. I mean, this is a tough schedule. I feel like, but I think 9-3 is very doable, and I think that'll put him right on that fringe of making the playoff or not.
Yeah, I'll say 9-3 as well. I think honestly, like he has some really tough matchups. Like if you look at it, Ole Miss, Penn State on the road, and I
Yeah.
believe if you scroll down, he plays Oklahoma on the road, and I think those are his 3 losses. So
Yeah.
I didn't even think we were a rival team. I did not know that.
Oh, they're not. You're not a rival team. It's just out of conference.
Oh, they are.
They are rivals. Thank you.
Yeah, they say it right there.
There are a lot of rivals like in this game. A lot more than any of the other games for whatever reason it seems like. So.
I guess the old Big 12 has a lot to do with that.
Yeah. All right. So I think we can go on to our next team, which is Nebraska and Mike G. This Nebraska team was actually one of the ones, they were in my top 5 on teams that I wanted for this dynasty. They've got a really solid quarterback. They've got a lot of really good wide receivers on this team. The defense is pretty solid as well. And they have a pretty big budget. So he'll have a lot of flexibility on how he wants to recruit. Nebraska doesn't have the best pipelines, but he's going to be able to get a lot of players to the transfer portal to come there, I believe. I think Mike G kind of didn't really play any dynasties until kind of late in the College Football 26 cycle, but just progressively got better and better. He was in the semifinals, I believe, of the last dynasty that we did. So, yeah, I mean, it's really this top half of it, right? This is where all the kind of the meat of the user games are, and then this second half is where he can kind of make up ground with all these CPU games, and then at Ohio State certainly won't be easy. But what are we thinking for Nebraska this year?
I'm thinking, I think that's really opportunistic. Can we scroll back down, please? I think there's 3 losses in the first 7 games.
Right. Yeah, this first stretch is the tough one.
Games. I don't think there's a loss after that, really.
I think Z-Mog's a loss, Mason's a loss, KU is a loss, and I don't even think there's a guarantee he beats Turf.
Yep, those guys have played quite a bit too, so they're pretty familiar with each other.
So
Ty, you would think he takes care of business. This game is actually in Dublin. The game just put it there, so went ahead and rocked with it. So that'll be a fun way to open up the season. But
yeah,
that's gonna throw them off a little bit because that's a neutral site game. Nobody gets the advantage there.
Yeah.
I'm thinking 7-5. I would definitely pump the brakes on a 9-3. That's probably ceiling, right? I think that's. But I'm gonna say not.
Yeah, I think 9 and yeah. I think to be safe, I'm gonna say 8-4. But yeah, I do think he could have 9-3 and be right there with a shot to make the playoff. I think just little things here and there about getting adjusted to this game and figuring some things out might take him a little bit, but I think he's a guy that for sure by season 2, 3, 4, if we keep doing this, I think Nebraska and Mike G is going to continue to get a lot better and better. But yeah, I'm going to say 8-4 for this season.
Mm-hmm.
Electric?
I will say the same record as Joker. He said 7-5, right?
Yep.
Yeah, or 6-6. I don't know how Mike G plays too much, but yeah, it's too many people there.
Yep. And like we said, that's really gonna tell the story as, those first, I mean, that top half of the schedule for sure, and then definitely like those first 3 user games on how the season's gonna go. So let's go to the number 1 ranked team in the Dynasty, 94 overall squad here. We got Shake, who has experience in Dynasty in the past. Not has had some times where he hasn't really finished everything, so hopefully he sticks around for the long term. I feel like it's probably easier as well, knowing that he's got one of the best teams in the game. But this is a tough little 4-game stretch to open the season. All these non-conference opponents here. Kicking off the season against Georgia in week 0 at the Shoe.
That or the hair.
Yeah.
And the lack of hair, right?
And then, going to play McCard.
Then the softball game. We're
Yeah.
gonna call that the softball bowl.
And we got at Georgia Tech, and then back at home.
And then
against
homecoming. Yeah.
UCLA. So, we got 5 more user games at the bottom here and in conference. I think he has 9 user games, so quite a
is that
few.
the most, or does someone have more?
Somebody has 10. I don't really feel bad for Shake because he does have the best team. So if you get the best team,
you're gonna have a fruitful schedule.
You gotta show it. So
you're gonna have to get out the mud, right? I'm gonna say 8-4. I think there's a loss to Georgia. I think if you scroll down, I think there's a loss to Penn State. There's a loss to Missouri.
It's at Indiana too. Might be tough.
I think he beats Indiana. I think the game he would lose in the first 4 would probably be Neo, like user wise. But I think, I'll go 8-4. I think 8-4 for me.
And I feel like that would be a massive disappointment, right? If you happen to land Ohio State like he did and you don't make the playoffs in the first year, I feel like that's a huge letdown. So
yeah, especially with the overall. Has a decent amount of young guys, so it's not like this team's gonna all like exploded after year 1 too.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that. The record, I think he beats UCLA. There's too much of a skill gap. There's not even just skill gap. There's too much of it, like a team gap from UCLA to Ohio State for Neo to win. I don't agree with y'all on that. I think he beats 3 of the 4 users here. Because Shake is not a bad person. It's just he played with a very bad team. Let me scroll down. I think he beats Indiana too. Beats Missouri. I think he has a tough game with Penn State. Low key, he can only lose like 3 to 4, like 3 games at most. I don't think he loses. I think you only lose like 1 conference game, if anything. Yeah. It's not,
I think it's
like you were saying with I don't remember who exactly the user was, but like all these games, none of them are really like a game that's a for sure loss. I'd say all of them he has the potential of being up there like by the end of it and have a close game.
Yeah, I think it's just how bought in Shake's gonna be. I think that's gonna be kind of the biggest question here. I think if he's putting in some decent time to this game, there's no reason why he shouldn't make the playoffs, even with the schedule. But some questions there on how locked in he'll be. So tough games, but I'm gonna say 9-3 because of just how good this team is. Let's see. All right, here we go. Actually, no. Oregon is in the Pac-12.
No.
We gotta save that. We gotta save that. We gotta save that.
Bro is about to go to the room. If I say no.
The getting rid of the Pac-12 was the worst decision that could.
Yeah, that's why we had to bring it back. You know, the Pac-12 is actually pretty darn strong this season.
It's pretty loaded, honestly.
It is.
This is the last team in the Big Ten.
No, there's.
This is.
It is the last team.
Yes. So,
already went through.
Arbales finally gets Penn State in the HPL Dynasty. He's been trying to get them for the last couple of games, and it didn't work out for him. But now
I think he got him the second iteration that we had later.
He might have, but you know,
count.
The prime HPL days, he was Clemson.
I don't think I
He had a good
don't think there were any bids on Penn State this year, and you know, obviously they're coming off a very disappointing season in real life. So, I mean, but still, the 84 overall team. I'm not super familiar with all their players, but
they're all from Iowa State. My bad for cutting you off.
Yeah. So, got some interesting games. I think, again, these first 3 games here are kind of going to really set the tone. You know, at Washington, who is T-Bird, and then back at home against Steezy and Jackson. I think there's a real shot that he goes undefeated through this stretch. I think if he drops 2 of them, he's in huge trouble. If he drops 1, like, he's kind of right on what you expect. And if he wins all 3, like, he's got to be setting his expectations really high. You know, and then he closes with Texas Tech and Ricky. So that's kind of interesting.
A lot of difficult games on this schedule.
You said a lot of difficult games?
I mean, yeah, I'd say Ole Miss is pretty difficult. BYU, the user there is pretty solid, and Steez Mog has historically been a pretty solid user, and then that Texas Tech game I feel like is just rough too.
Yeah, I think this is a tougher schedule. I will say Penn State isn't the 90 overall that I have known it to be, so I think that matters as well. But I'm intrigued to see the week 2 matchup with Jackson and Arbales, just because Jackson hasn't necessarily been on college football in our league since 25, like in a big way. So we'll see how. I feel like that's a good kind of startup game to see how you really set yourself for your playoff push for both of those teams.
Big litmus test right there.
I think this is 10-2. I think this is manageable. I think he sweeps through this part of the schedule, and I think his 2 losses probably come against Missouri or one of these 3 is what I would say.
Any score predictions for any of these games, Mason?
All right. Yeah, where's Mason?
Wait, what did he say?
I think 10-2 is definitely like a ceiling, right? And I think the floor for me is probably 8-4. I think all of these, the final 3 games are kind of like pick'ems, right? You can't really.
Yeah.
I can't really say one person's gonna comfortably win that game over the other. So I'll say 9-3. I'll go in the middle of my ceiling and floor. I'll say 9-3. Makes the playoffs.
Yeah, I think this is a playoff team too.
I'd have to agree with them 9-3. Arbales has just been a good user. Some of the best teams, like he's beaten BJ before, and he's beaten a couple other guys who are either been in the championship or have been like constant contenders. The only thing is just this Penn State team is basically just Iowa State from last year, and you got to remember how good was Iowa State really last year.
Yeah, that's a fair point, but I do think Arbales he's been very, very good at recruiting, so I expect this team to continue to get better as well, but I do kind of low-key like how the schedule lines up for him. I think he's going to have maybe surprise some folks this year, but I think this should be a playoff team.
Reasonable.
All right, well, that wraps up the Big Ten. We can move on to the Big 12, and I think we have to start with Kansas State here. This is
Yes.
free OHG.
Ooh, we got some big names in this conference that we'll see.
Yeah, the Big
Oh
12
my
is, I think,
gosh.
pretty. I would say the Big 12 is the best conference, just top to bottom.
I feel like it's a little top heavy Big 12.
Yeah, I mean you got Andrew in there with Oklahoma State, you got Electric in there at Oklahoma. But I think there's some other under the radar options as well in there.
Heredita's in here. We'll see Tiger schedule. So
Yeah, but free OHG. I'm trying to think back, and I feel like he's maybe been in the Dynasty for little stretches here and there, but seems like he kind of tails off the second half of the season sometimes. So, he's getting a big chunk of his user games like right away. LSU and Dang, another guy that's kind of really hasn't been in the Dynasty. That'll be an interesting matchup. Jocko, we've never really seen before in here. Deegan doesn't have the best team, but is a pretty solid user. And then this will be a tough game at Boise State. Kansas State also in this game, not the strongest in terms of overall compared to a lot of these other teams. But Electric, why don't you talk about this is your team, Kansas State? So tell us
Yeah,
about
man,
some of their players and what to expect from them.
Yeah, not a good offensive line. I could say we did bring in some recruits in real life, but lost out on Dylan Networks. But Joe Jackson is a really good running back. We still got the same tight ends. Still got Avery Johnson, solid wide receivers, and a solid defense that we bring this season. So expecting a lot in real life, but in this game, we're never going to get love. So, yeah, this year, I don't understand why Free OHG did this to himself, because in order for you to be at Kansas State and to get the program tradition up, you have to be good. And you have to make it to the playoffs multiple times, have to win multiple game of the weeks. That's the whole key of being good at Kansas State. You have to win almost every single game in order for you to be successful at Kansas State.
Yeah, so I think it's really just going to be a commitment thing, and if he's willing to kind of grind this game a little bit, I think some of these games he can certainly win. We don't really know much about LSU, Colorado, as I mentioned, Boise State, a weaker, overall. But honestly, I think for him, making a bowl game would be pretty solid. So I'm kind of thinking 6-6. Maybe if he overachieves 7-5, but I feel like it's kind of right in that range.
I don't
Joker?
know what this guy.
Actually, not saying.
I feel like there's a lot of users on this. There's no real break for him. I feel like some of the schedules we've seen, there's like a little 3 to 4 week break where there's not really like a user there, but he kind of got a lot of users for all 4 out of conference games being users. But I think I'd say 7-5. 8-4. I just think there's a lot of users. Like I think Texas Tech is a loss. BYU is going to be a loss. I think most of his losses are going to come for the first 3, and then kind of rewrite the ship. But I think
Texas, A&M,
yeah,
TCU, yeah.
I think he beats them, but I think he loses to Texas Tech, BYU, Boise State, and Colorado.
Okay. All right, let's go to next one up is Oklahoma State.
Oh my goodness.
And here we are, week
I
0,
know,
the
you
Jeweled
got up.
Shala. Week 0 on the line in LA. I mean,
They went
I didn't realize that
last
Oklahoma
year.
State went 1-11 last year.
Oh wait! Oh, wow.
But they do have a very good roster, low-key, like especially on offense. The
The
quarterback.
roster is old. They are,
Yeah.
I think, physically top 5 oldest roster in college football.
Not
Yeah.
oldest, just graduating.
Quarterback, running backs, receivers, I think are very good. And it'll be interesting to see how Andrew is able to run his offense. I think defensively, Andrew's one of the best. I remember anytime I've had to play him, I played him in the national championship game the last season in College Football 26. It's always a huge chess match. You gotta almost try to be thinking 1 or 2 plays ahead of him, because he's very good at knowing what to expect and being able to play some really good defense. So
This is a schedule. Like,
this
let's
is a
get to the
tough
bottom.
one. This is tough at the top.
This is
The bottom, I think it kind of
Alright,
opens
it's
up a
summer.
little
even
bit.
like loosens it up, but it definitely
Texas
like
Tech, rookie.
All 5
extent.
user.
I
We
mean,
got 5 user games to start for Oklahoma State. So
and really tough users.
yeah,
Yeah, I wouldn't say any of them are really play. And obviously, Joker has his days where he can be one of the best users.
Well, I feel more motivated to go get a new PlayStation controller now. So
Especially, we get Oregon
That's
here,
terrible.
who's a perennial contender every year with Jay, and then DBJ. Always a hard team to play. I mean, he won a championship for a
he wants
reason.
his get back. Andrew's been
he
wanting his
does.
get back.
and he will get them at home. So
So
Then also Electric in Week 5 is going to be a
big game.
litmus test for
Oklahoma.
this team.
Isn't that a rivalry game?
Bedlam.
Bedlam.
Yeah,
Rival.
yeah,
one of the biggest
Yeah.
rivalries in college football. They say.
it sucks that they got rid of that game. When Oklahoma left the conference, but good to have Oklahoma
Boone
back in the
Pickens
Big 12
Stadium.
and that game being on our schedule every season. But yeah, I mean, I think honestly, I think from week 6 on, I think he can run this table. I think
Yeah.
Texas Tech and UCLA, it's not necessarily a cakewalk, but I think he takes care of business. But really, it's just going to come down to these first 5 games, right? And I
It's that
think,
pass rush.
yeah,
I think. Yeah, I mean, what would you think? Like 2 and 3 here would kind of be
The only
best,
not
not best
playoff.
case scenario. I think 4 and 1, you're feeling really good. 4
Really
and
good.
1, I think that's ceiling.
yeah.
only major
Still got
issue.
4 is
Yeah, they got a
probably
top
2 and
five.
3.
Mm-hmm.
I think floor
The
is
major
2
issue
and
you got to
3.
think
You
is
have
like
to
how
come out
much
of
does
this.
he overall?
I think that matters. That's going to matter for the Oregon game. That's going to matter for Oregon. I mean, it's going to matter for
The
them all, but I
USC.
think morally, Oregon, Oklahoma, and Texas A&M.
USC.
I think those are the 3 games where the overall is going to matter the most.
Possibly
because I
Texas
think-
Tech.
Well, I'm just talking about in the first, this 5. But I think, Texas Tech 2 later in the season, because I think Texas Tech is like an 85. But
Yeah, they're in 85.
I think Oklahoma, Texas A&M, and Oregon going to have to get out of the mud for those 3 just because of the overall difference.
I think he will be very motivated after seeing the schedule and this tough start to it, and I think he's going to be locked in. And I mean, we know Andrew. He's never going to take the layup. He's always out in the trenches. We know where we're going to find him, and I'm going to say 10-2 because I know how good of a user he is. Yes, these are a lot of tough games against teams that have a lot higher overall than him, but I think I'm expecting 10-2 here, and that should be enough to get them into the playoff.
Yeah, I think I'll say 9-3. I think there's going to be a game where the overall is going to matter. Like it's going to be a lot, right? I think, it might be DJ, but I'll say 9-3. But there also could be a loss somewhere where the Korean barbecue just has to come right on a game day of a user. So we're gonna hope that he doesn't have to get force loss.
Hey, you know what, Joker? Sometimes that short rib really hits.
I don't know what to tell you, but great job, Fretch, on quiet in the booth. Texas Tech, that game's going. Yeah, I think he wins that. Loses. I agree with you. I think he loses only 2 games. I think he beats Oregon, low key. If he
Here we go.
plays his cards right. Like, I ain't gonna lie. I think DJ, he falls a lot, especially when it's player.
DJ loves to play this competition.
When it's a player that's like same level, if not, they may be over, and he plays just like a 79 overall type of player. Like, his IQ drops a lot, and he keeps everything simple and keeps everything to where I think Andrew can pick it up sooner or later and get him. So, low key, I think that might be a win for Oklahoma State, and I feel like that's also a trap game for DJ because he don't play good with Oregon, and that's why I don't understand why he picked this team over Texas. So,
Neo is in the chat, and he said that Andrew is not beating him this season. So
I mean, we'll just have to wait till week 8 to figure that out.
I don't know what the record is for Andrew versus Neo. I'm not sure what that record is, but we all.
I think Andrew will say he's comfortably beaten Neo a few more times.
All right.
From what I've seen, that's what he's saying.
We have
That's what he will say.
We've got a new guest in the booth.
Yeah.
Tiger NASCAR, who is the coach of Texas A&M, who we will get to shortly. But how are we feeling, Tiger? You were one of the 3 people who were involved in the wheel spin for Texas A&M. A lot of people wanted them, so. Oh, and now it's saying that my voice chat cannot connect with Tiger, so we will get back to Tiger shortly.
So I guess we're on to TC.
Actually, I don't know why we skipped Oklahoma, but let's get right into Electric's
Here we go.
schedule.
Here we go.
Week 0 matchup.
Take the jacket off. Yeah.
The Philly fans will have their game in Week 0. Then
Gets to claim Rock.
the Week 1 matchup. So many great games between these 2 users in the past in this dynasty. It will be at the Swamp. And then we've got a little stretch of user games here. And another big one in Week 8.
Lightens up.
What a stretch having like 6 in a row it is.
The schedule lightens up towards the end here.
Yeah. But yeah. What are we thinking, Electric? What do you think about your schedule?
I don't think it's too tough. From what I'm seeing, Jackson, you haven't played the game in a year, I haven't played the game in a year, so I think it'll be really tough for him to hop right back in and then try to play me. Be a fun game. Last time, I remember we always have good games between me and him. So he'll be good. Me and DBJ should be a fun game. I do know I will catch him whack in this game. And everybody else down there, I hope and pray for everybody down there.
You are literally playing, I think, outside of you, like, you got DJ, you got Andrew, you got DVJ. I mean, that's about the best the league has to offer, so. And if you think this is easy, then that's kind of sending a message to the rest of the league that you don't think anybody can touch you in this game.
I think this is a good schedule because DVJ is on it. So I understand how he is when he plays the game, and mostly everybody else. But everybody else on this roster have not beaten me more than I think 2 to 3 times. Everybody else. So that's why I say, I don't see any difficultness outside of the Florida game and possibly Ole Miss. I want to see how Jackson plays, and if he plays well, then that can be a tough game too. I was expecting DVJ to be week 0, but yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad.
What do you think about this game, the Red River rivalry against Heredia?
I got $200. My AD expectations is to beat Texas, so I get 200 points for that. I'm not losing that game.
If we're being real here,
yeah, bro. I'm not losing.
As a side input, if we're being real here, that game, if Electric does not win that game by 3 scores,
Something dramatically would have had to have happened. if
he doesn't,
Will
if he
Heredia
doesn't-
still be in the league at this point? That's also another question.
Yes.
Right. He might.
Yes, I think he'll still be in the
Black Ops 2
league, but I
is a
don't think
big,
he'll be
big
much
game
longer
for him
after
right
that
now.
after that game.
I just heard
Good
2
point.
voices talk.
All right. Well, let's get our record predictions out.
I
This
honestly
is
think
10-2.
10-2. Okay.
I'm putting
who are the
12
2
in that.
losses in your eyes?
Yeah. What are the 2 losses?
I think Oregon, and then I'm gonna say Oklahoma State.
Oh. Okay.
Okay. I say 11-1. I say 11-1. I think the only loss is Florida, just because that game being early enough in the season could just be a little bit of a slip up. Just trying to figure out what your team is and how you want to play with them.
I've been playing with Oklahoma the whole last week, since the whole week.
Yeah, but like
So I know how the team is.
things change. Things can
I think
change depending on the
DBJ
people
has
you're playing
spent a lot of
online.
time with Florida as
I've been
well,
playing with
so
these
that'll
teams
be
for 2
interesting.
weeks. Yeah.
We will definitely be broadcasting that game. But yeah, I'm gonna also say 10-2. I just think it's. Oh.
Oh.
Well,
Okay.
like,
Alright. Well.
Slated
Imagine the
We
league deleted
will.
live on the channel. That would
That
probably
would be pretty
The worst.
funny.
That would be the
And all
that would
the
that would be
schedules are
rather interesting.
No.
Yeah, well.
They were not messing with Electric. They said you've been on this man for too long.
Well, it
Yeah,
said
no
that
more
he
looking at Electric. We got to
was-
switch on. Switch
He
teams.
said he was inactive. That means he was staying on one screen.
What do you?
Schedule is
Since
crazy.
Tiger is in here, Tiger has joined us. What are you saying for this record? He does
I
not play
say-
you this season. Actually, you guys are both in the Big 12, but he does not play you.
That's a bit Mickey, but I got 11-1. And I think Jackson
Mm.
wins week 0.
Jackson is the one loss.
He's got some cheese, I think, and Electric won't be able to stop.
We're gonna find out what type of rule changes we need to make in the first 3 weeks from Ole Miss.
Jackson's been
I think-
studying, trying to figure out what he can use to try to get banned.
I mean, he did originally ask, "Is Wildcat allowed?" So that might be a cause of concern.
Well, we already have a rule for that, but
We do
low-key,
not.
I'm just so surprised how. I was
We
about
have
to
no
say,
rule for Wildcat.
I'm so no, I thought we did. I'm so surprised on y'all skipping over DBJ like he's this like throw around. I'm not expecting to lose to DJ. I played him way too many times with Oregon and he sucks. And Andrew he beat me 1 out of the 5 times. I don't really get that on them 2 losses, but it's like I understand a loss to Jackson and DBJ. I give y'all that, but everybody else I truly don't. I don't understand that one.
That Oregon
But, hey.
game might also have to be for obvious reasons of the different kinds of attitudes and aggression we can see out of those two users.
Yeah, there'll be some things said, I'm sure, leading up to that Week 8 matchup. So, all right. Well, enough time on Oklahoma. Let's go to the next one, which I think is TCU. So, new player joining the league here. Color, who he did not get the last game. He did play for a little bit on CFB27, not in this Dynasty, but I had to convince him a little bit because I thought he might enjoy it, and he's gonna get tested right out of the gate. There's a lot of user games early in the season. He's got a little stretch here in the middle to kind of catch himself, and then kind of a tough finish, but. Yeah, we got Mike G in Dublin. That'll be interesting. And then at Florida State, he goes at Clemson and Brink. And then the last out of conference user game is against Turf. So, do you guys have any thoughts about this schedule?
This is looking.
There's a range of either 9-3 to like 6-6 to like 3-9. Yeah, there's a big range there. There's a big range from like.
He
9
could go
to
a lot of
12
ways.
users.
These are tough users he's going to have to face at the beginning of the schedule. Mike G.
I think he can
KU.
win these two, Clemson, Texas,
Right,
even
those
though
are
they're on the
winnable.
road.
But-
There's a big overall difference, which
Overall
is
difference, yeah.
Now, the one question I do have to ask you, KU, since you know him better than we do, and you know how he is in golf, how he's pretty good there. Think he's better at golf in this game, or?
I mean,
I feel-
he did just win the Season 6 PGA Championship, so,
Oh, no.
I would have to say probably
We have a role about
PGA.
that, too.
I mean, we could. I going off of that. I mean, considering how good he was at golf, I'd say probably about like 6-6. I think there's going to be some games where he just.
So golf is your reasoning for this
I'm
this
not saying golf's
prediction?
my reasoning, but I'm just saying in general, knowing it, like as a user, it's a big range of like 9-3 to 3-9. I think 6-6 is a good middle ground there. So I think he's just going to have some games where, it being a new user, people don't know how to play against him. He'll be able to get the upper hand.
All right. Yeah, but I think he's one of those people that, if he sticks around, I think, Season 2, Season 3, he's going to be able to get this roster a lot better. TCU low-key has a very, very good pipelines, that East Texas, North Texas, which is very, very strong. And then, also TCU has a pretty sizable NIL budget for, just kind of a middle of the pack Big 12 team. So, it's going to be kind of baptism by fire early on here, but I think he can win at least 2 of these games, maybe 3, if he puts some time into the game. So, but I think it's going to be one of those things where really for him, a new user, getting to a bowl game would be huge. And I think it's going to be right on the cusp of that. I'm going to give him 5-7, but by the end of the season, maybe there's this Kansas State one, maybe this Texas A&M one. If he gets a little bit better, he could do that and make a bowl game. We'll see.
I'm going to change mine. I'm going to say 4-8.
Okay.
At a win.
Be a little bit more respectful.
Who do you think the 4 wins are, if I may ask you?
The 3 CPU and
Kansas State might not be there, so that I could.
Kansas State.
That could be a
say.
4 CPU, maybe.
And
I think Heredia will beat him. Just overall advantage too.
Okay.
Tigers,
Same
do you
with
have
Brink, like knowing the game longer.
Yeah,
So,
Brink
that's what I'll
has
say.
a lot of time. And so.
I'll say Kansas State is the long win.
What do you think, Tiger?
Any input?
I'm gonna go 8-4. He's gonna
Oh, no.
Wait a minute. Where are the 8 wins here?
Where are the 8? Where are the 4 losses?
I mean,
Let's.
where are the 4 losses?
Yeah, the
I
4
mean,
losses are fine.
We're gonna lose to Florida State. We're gonna lose to Arizona State.
You're telling me.
We're gonna lose to
Yo,
Oklahoma.
you said this?
You're
Lose
trying to tell.
Oklahoma and Oklahoma State. Everyone else win.
Oh, so he beats you.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
He's got 4 home games in a row. He's gonna be feeling it on that stretch.
that definitely is something.
All right. What did you say, Ferge?
I said 6 and 6.
Okay. Yeah. I think it's right in that range. I think it's 5 and 7, 6 and 6.
I just watched that. Though.
All right. Well. Let's get to Heredia and look at this. These matchups out of the gate.
Oh.
This is what happens when you get really good teams. You get really good opponents. So, Alabama,
That's my fighting
Georgia.
style.
We got some week 0 games.
Look at all these user games to start with.
Oh
How
my
many user
goodness.
games does he
Yeah, Heredia's not either. He's in it for the long haul, or he's not making it past. If he makes it through all 7 of
won't make it
these
to week
user
4.
games without leaving, I think I would consider that a successful season. Because if you scroll
How many
down,
user games?
you get a break. It really eases up. You get some bye weeks in there.
Yeah,
You-
end of the season. End of the season is definitely the calm before the storm.
Yeah, but Heredia's going to be put to the test. So if he gets to week 7 and he's still here, it starts playing the other games. Then
Can we talk about when he got Alabama the Dynasty and he went 1-11? Is that in the realm of possibility for this season?
I don't think it gets that bad because I think that like there's enough that are either or they're just at a level where like still can like have a little bit of like competitiveness against them. Like myself, color being new, free turf. I know every once in a while can be either really good or really bad depending on the day you get them. I feel like there's a couple. He's gonna have like a competitive game for about like 5, for maybe like 4 or 5 of those user games that he has.
I want to ask a question. If Mason loses this game to Heredia in Texas, does he make it the rest of the season? Or is
Yes.
that just it for him?
It for Mason or it for Heredia?
It for Mason. Mason loses
think
this
he still
game
does.
to Heredia. Is that the
I
last
don't
we
think
will
he's gonna leave
see?
the second
I mean,
game.
I know Mason
leaving the
hasn't really played the game in a
dynasty.
while, but I think he's still there. Everyone has those days where they lose one bad game, they'll make it the next day. Life will go on. There's another.
There will be a lot of choice words said, I'm sure, if Texas is able to come out on top of this one. But all right, let's just say the numbers. What are we thinking? Let's assume that Heredia plays out the entire season. What is?
I got 6 and 6.
4 and 8.
6 and 6.
I got
It's
4.
against Alabama, and then he goes on a 5-game win streak to end the year.
Wow.
Oh,
Another Tiger
I can see
loss.
that. Yeah.
I say 4 and 8. I think he gets a user win in, and he wins his 3 CPU games.
You know what? I just thought about this, but like I don't think Heredia is gonna play his CPU games, so he's gonna get one of them for free.
And
I mean,
then,
I guess
considering
like
how
they
bad
would
they
probably
are-
win in
win.
Sim.
Yeah, considering how bad they
But-
are, I don't see why he would lose them.
Yeah, I mean, it's.
I would advise everyone though to play.
I'm gonna
matters
say
what the
4 and 8
situation.
too. I think it's. I think he wins maybe 1 in here, and then he wins one of these last 2 user games.
Question is, who do you think has a better season, him or Tyrese? that Michigan spot.
I think Ty, because Ty is a little bit more committed, I think.
Just
and
playing, yeah.
He's
Right,
always
yeah, I mean,
he's always playing the game.
yeah, Ty will play, and not. We don't have to worry about him leaving. So
What do you think, Joker?
Really gave a hamper.
I think 6-6 as well, or 5-7. But yeah, I mean, I think these the 4 games are going to be the ones you're going to have to worry about, not necessarily leaving out of the first 3.
Mm-hmm.
Playing so many users, there's probably going to be a lot of, funny stuff that can happen in these games that, we like to nitpick about. So I'm going to say 6-6.
All right, let's get right to it. Texas A&M.
Oh.
Wow.
And opening the season, week 0 against Florida State, the A-class matchup, and then on the road in Michigan, on the road at Dank and LSU. Got a couple tough in-conference opponents right here, Texas Tech and then Oklahoma State. A little bit of a breather here, and then the second half could look interesting. We got an out-of-conference game against McCard, which should be fun. But then, yeah, I think the second half, or like this end stretch here, could be doable. Although Tiger did say he was going to lose both of these games.
I did.
It's a little father-son action here.
Yeah, felt like we had to do that, but
Of course.
I mean, what are we thinking, Tiger?
I got 3-9.
3-9. Okay.
Only beating the CPUs.
Only beating the
if
CPUs.
if you lose to Dank,
I think he could beat Dank, Ty. I think he could go 5-7, maybe 6-6, because I think K-State's still there.
this is 5-7.
And a bowl game would be exceeding expectations at the end of the day.
I think Tiger is like better than what he gives himself credit for.
Yeah, he beat Ty. He blew by
That
more,
was a lucky game.
I mean, it's always luck until the game actually happens.
I think he makes a bowl game. I'm gonna give him 6-6, and I think ceiling is probably 7-5. Electric? Is Electric here? He's been writing on my screen, but alright.
I mean, my mind's
Alright. Well.
I think he's trying to figure out the mic.
Alright, let's go to the Pac-12. And, first team I have written.
We forgot Texas.
What?
Texas Tech. We haven't done Texas Tech. You're right. It is right there.
We got Texas
Right
Tech.
behind them.
Here we go.
Alright, Texas Tech and
Here we
Ricky.
go.
Ricky.
Week 0 matchup.
Here we go.
Oh,
Big one against Neo.
the big
Then West
one.
Coast
The
boys
Jewel
going at it.
Shaw.
The Jewel Chala series continues. I mean, you look, Ricky and Neo, and then Andrew and Joker in week 0. I mean, does it get any better than that, folks?
I don't know.
We got the USC matchup, out of conference matchup in week 9, and then closing the season against Penn State. He does have to play both Andrew and
He plays
Electric.
all 3.
He does.
Oh, wow.
So
All of Texas. He plays all of Oklahoma, all of LA. Like,
he's hitting it all. So, I mean, Joker, you've played quite a few games against Ricky, so just talk about his play style, I guess, and what you expect from him this season.
he's gonna, the record it says in this right here is what he's gonna be expecting. So, But yeah, we'll see. I think to start the season, very easy opponents. I would say an easier kind of approach. We don't know how good Auburn is, so that'll be a good test for both of those users. And if we can leave this 4-0, I think 3-1 is like the minimum, right? You got to go 3-1. But if you leave that 4-0, I think that leaves a lot of opportunities as you scroll down to the second half.
It's a tough little stretch back here.
You gotta go 2-2 here, right?
Yeah.
Between Oklahoma, USC, I think he's going to beat Kansas State, but Oklahoma State and then Penn State, you got to go 2-2 there. If you can go 2-2 there with the 3-1 start, then I think that's a playoff team. So.
Yeah, and I think the issue with Texas Tech is that they don't really have a quarterback for year one. It's Will Hammond, who's like a 75 overall. This team I think would have been a lot more coveted had Sorsby been eligible. But if you go through like position by position, there's some really, really strong players in there. They got a really good three-headed monster in the backfield. They got some really quality receivers. Terrence Carter, I think, might be the best tight end in the game. The defensive line is really, really good. They've got some really good linebackers as well. So there's a lot of good pieces to work with this first season. It's just going to be about kind of, can Will Hammond be the passer that Ricky needs him to be successful. So that's what it's going to come down to. Furch, any thoughts?
Honestly, I played him myself. Just going off of the users he's going against, I think he could do solid like an 8-4. 9-3 for sure.
Yeah, so I think his name is Free Expert or Free EXPT. I was assuming it's Expert. I'm not exactly sure, but obviously we're not super familiar with him. It seems like he's been pretty like locked in and like very responsive in the CFB chat, so I'm assuming that he's really excited and put a lot of time in. But he's definitely one of the biggest question marks in here, so this game getting off to a good start is really going to set the tone for him. I've watched these guys play a couple times. I know Ricky had a big lead over Neo in one Dynasty and kind of choked that one away somehow. But I'm sure he'll be happy to get revenge. But I mean, I think he could easily reach Oklahoma undefeated. If he's playing well. I think that's certainly in the cards. And then, tough game against Oklahoma, USC, Oklahoma State, and then even Penn State as well. I'm going to give Ricky 9-3. I think this team is really, really good. I think he's going to be able to find a way to make a lot of this stuff work. And, I think if Texas Tech goes 9-3, I think they'll probably be in the playoff.
Yeah, I think because, they're already ranked 16 now. When you're already ranked, you kind of already have that like 3-loss buffer to kind of get away with. So
there's a lot of highly ranked teams on the schedule as well. That'll help if he gets wins. So
yeah, especially those two in Texas. If he can beat both of those, so he might be ranked in the top 5. If he can start out 5-0 up to Oklahoma, I think he'll probably be ranked in
through this CPU game. Or no, 5-0. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I think that's very much a possibility that he reaches here.
Yeah. Because then it sets yourself up with Oklahoma being ranked. You'll see if USC is ranked. Then if you lose those, you won't drop as far. So that leaves that kind of leeway still. So.
Yeah, but I think, we haven't really touched on this for some of the other conferences, but I think. I would love to say that Ricky could maybe be in the Big 12 championship, but just getting past this Oklahoma State, Oklahoma, it's going to be tough. Obviously he's going to have to win one of those games and maybe get some help here or there. I think it's within the realm of possibility that he could make the Big 12 championship, but regardless, I think 9-3 with this team would probably make it into the playoff. So All right, well that'll do it for the Big 12. Let's go to the Pac-12, and we will start with the guy that's he's had quite a few people chirping
Here we
him, coming
go.
after him a little
Hot
bit.
topic, right?
You know, not getting it out of the mud this year at all. Put all 10 chips on Oregon, which many people think is the best team in this game, and yeah, just gonna need a really good team to win, apparently. So
Yeah, no excuses.
yeah, this definitely DJ is definitely the leader of the No Excuses Club this year. You know, is gonna be challenged out of the gate, week 0 at the Swamp, and then we'll face Andrew. Those two have had a lot of good matchups in the past. Couple CPU games, and then a big matchup against the, what should we call this rivalry? The belt rivalry, whatever you want to say.
Like Papa, like son.
We got UCLA here. We got a big game against Electric, out of conference game against Oklahoma. And we get Colorado, Arizona State, and Washington State. So, I mean, I honestly believe if DJ is anything less than 10-2, that is a epic failure, and would
utter
just be
disappointment.
embarrassing.
He can't call himself the number 2 player in Kentucky.
Yes.
If we're under 10-2.
Yeah.
Really, if we're under 11-1, to be honest.
Steve, but we got to remember, Tiger, how many people are playing.
How good is Kentucky?
in
For being honest.
college?
How good is this?
What
Kentucky?
is
That's the bigger
what is the
question.
competition?
Who are we
look
going
like
up against?
Right. Right. Yeah, getting DBJ and Andrew in the first 2 games.
But he has the massive overall difference against both of these teams, is the thing.
Yeah, right.
So-
Honestly,
Why shouldn't I lose?
I know he has the overall difference. I'm giving him 9-3. I think he loses to both those teams and to Oklahoma.
Oh.
Mm.
I just think those two I just think there's sometimes where DJ overestimates how good some of the players are, like how he was in the last Dynasty, just overestimating how good some of the college players are, and it just ends up biting him in the butt and just ruining his moments because he just has a couple boneheaded plays.
Yeah. I mean, I think I want to say he has a lot to prove, but like when you take Oregon, you know, it's tough to get on that bandwagon. I mean, I think most of the league is probably going to be hate watching DJ the whole year.
Yes, we love a good hate watch.
If we get, and I'm sure DJ will be in a lot of game of the weeks this season, and you know, if things are close in the second half, everybody is going to be rooting on his downfall. So, yeah, I think I'm going to say 10-2, and I'm going to say losses to Florida and Oklahoma.
See, you said he doesn't have much to prove, but I think he still does. Even with picking a good team like Oregon, I think you just got to prove that you pick one of the best teams. You got to act like you're the best. You got to beat the best.
Well, if he
Best
doesn't
beat
win
the
the
best.
championship this season, because we know like DJ doesn't recruit, DJ is not, for as much time as DJ spends on this game, like he does not grind like the other aspects like recruiting and transfer portal stuff, and that's really, we've seen it dynasty after dynasty, it's that first season where DJ is at his most dangerous, and then if he doesn't get it done then it's just kind of a steady downhill after that. So
You got to remember this isn't Madden.
I mean, yeah, this is national championship or bust. If you get a team like Oregon and you're as good of a user as DJ says he is, like this is national championship or bust. So
Yeah.
all right, well, that is
Yeah, I'll say 10-2
DJ's
as
schedule.
well.
Next one up I have on here is UCLA, and There are a lot of user games on here. UCLA.
There it is.
Wow.
UCLA probably has the gauntlet of all gauntlets, but to be fair, he did request all of these games. Texas Tech, Ohio State, Oklahoma State, and Michigan. They were all in his request, so he got all of them. He has 10 user games, which is the most of any team in here. I think some of them are obviously more winnable than others. Neo is he does like to talk a lot, and he's not afraid to tell you how he feels. So what are we thinking, Joker? Looking at this gauntlet.
I mean, what a start, right?
Yeah.
I mean, these first 6 games, because he plays 7 games in 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, gotta be happy if you're 3-3. Just because overall difference for Ohio State, overall difference for Oregon. Steezy's not an easy user. See how Jocko and T-Bird go against him, but I think 3-3 is probably the best case scenario in that stretch. And then you scroll down, and then it's like tough game against Oklahoma State, overall difference against Michigan and USC. So I'd probably say 7-5. I'll go 7-5. Now I'm getting invites to NHL. Like Jackson and DBJ.
What do we think?
But yeah, I'm gonna say 7-5.
Tiger.
We're gonna go 7-5 as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think I have no doubts that Neo is going to put a lot of effort into this game and try to find the playbooks that work best for him, and so I think he. I'm gonna say 8-4 for Neo. I think there's some tough games on here, Oklahoma State, but I mean, other than that, like, I think you could convince me of, like, well, I guess DJ too, maybe. Other than those two, like, the rest of them, like, I think you could make a case for him winning all of them. So it'll be interesting. I mean, he doesn't have the luxury of maybe some other teams that have, some stretches of CPU games that they can kind of get their bearings straight, but I think 8-4 with this schedule and the team that he has would be really, really good. So
yeah,
we'll say
I think that's definitely a ceiling.
All right, here it is, the USC.
Here we go.
So we already saw they're starting in week 0 against Oklahoma State. Then they've got a run of all these Pac-12 games: Boise State, Arizona State, Oregon, Washington. And then second half, we've got Tennessee. We got Texas Tech. We
Two
got
rough road games.
Yeah, we got BYU and UCLA. So I didn't realize it until now, but these are all road user games, so that's not going to be very easy.
Fun.
Yeah, these two are actually as well. Yeah, this is a tough one. The scheduling committee did not.
I still have 6 home games. I still have 6 home games, but I only have 2 user games.
It worked out. I just think with the schedule that it
3.
put all these games as like all the non-user games as home games. So like Notre Dame was one of them, is obviously an out-of-conference game, but we can't change that one. It is hard-coded in. But yeah, I mean, let's just start at the top here. These first 5 games. What's your goal to get through those 5 games at?
I think 3-2 for sure, or if not, then 4-1.
Do you think you have a better shot at beating Oklahoma State or Oregon?
I don't know. Honestly, that's a interesting question because I feel like I always have close games with DJ for some reason.
Hmm.
So we will see, But I think ceiling 4-1, um, disappointing would kind of be 2-3. Like,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, and then
And then
this
it kind of
second
sets
half
me up
here.
to kind of put myself in a must win games at Tennessee, at Texas Tech.
I
So if
feel
you
like
go
all of
4-1
these
in that first
are,
five,
yeah.
yeah, and then split one of if you go 2-2 in that, and then you're 9-3, I think that still makes the playoffs. But
Hmm.
What do you think, Tiger?
definitely, yeah.
I mean, we can go 8-4. I think
Mm.
if we play to our potential, right?
If we played our potential, 8 and 4.
Right.
You know? Right?
Yeah, I would say, yeah, I'm thinking 3-2 here, and then see, I think you can win all of these user games right here. I mean, even though they are all on the road, which is going to be
They
tricky.
all are on the road. I'm just like, oh wow, they're
So
all on the road.
because of that, I'll probably say you drop one of these four. So yeah, I'm kind of thinking 9-3, and yeah, I think 9-3 is good enough to make it in, especially being USC and being in a good conference like it is. So, yeah, let's go to looks like Washington.
Washington.
And T-Bird,
Oh.
who I don't know if he I don't think he's done the Dynasty with us before, but maybe in 25. I could be
I
wrong.
think he did on 25 I think he was Washington in the 25 Dynasty when we first started.
Yeah. So, a kind of an interesting stretch, starting the season week 0 against Penn State. He'll get them at home, and then a couple CPU games, but a lot of home games it looks like for him. So I mean, it's hard to really know what to expect from T-Bird. I mean, I know this team is very good. They have a really, really good quarterback, some good skill position players, pretty good defense. So the team is definitely there for him, even though I think the overall is 82. But I guess where do we kind of think he nets out here?
I mean, I think so. I mean, all these are kind of toss-up 50-50 games, right? I don't think there's if you scroll back up, like all of these games are like you can't say. I think you probably will lose to Penn State, just because Bales has played the game longer, already kind of accustomed to it and stuff. So, I would probably say 6-6. I'll say 6-6.
Yeah, I got 6-6 too.
Yeah, I think for a lot of these teams, a lot of these new users coming in, I think making a bowl game is going to be a really good season, and I think T-Bird probably kind of falls in that category. Yeah, I think it's going to be somewhere between 5-7, 6-6, but he could be one of those guys that kind of surprises us a little bit, and somebody that we're not really expecting to do well and figures out how to play with this team and can do pretty well. So we'll see, but yeah, I think he's kind of in the range of fighting to make a bowl game. Let's see, Arizona State is in the Pac-12 as well. That is Turf, who unfortunately might have gotten Oregon, which is his favorite team, but did not make it into the Dynasty at first. Had to wait for somebody to withdraw, and then he was the first alternate, so got in. Had to choose from the available teams left, and decided to go with Arizona State, who they're definitely not as good as they were last season, as far as I remember, but uh, interesting schedule. They got, what is that, 9 user games it looks like? So pretty tough slate here. These first few maybe a little bit manageable. Clemson with Brink, you never really know what you're getting. Mike G, these guys have played each other a lot and have some close games. Color, TCU, we don't really know a whole lot. Texas, Heredia may or may not be here at this time, so. But yeah, what are we thinking for this slate?
I don't really know. I haven't seen him play.
Really tough 3 games to kind of start out.
Mm-hmm.
Just overall wise. I mean, Turf is a good user, but I think.
Overall.
I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, I think if he can lead these first 5 user games, well, the first 6 overall, 5-1, you can entertain 9-3.
I think it's possible. Like, Turf is one of those guys that I feel like he's the type of player who can beat anybody, but he can also lose to anybody.
Yeah.
He's like, I feel like I played him a decent amount, and I've seen him play other people, and yeah, he seems like he's one of those people that, very high difference between his ceiling and his floor, and you never quite know what you're gonna get from him. So yeah, I think it could go one of two ways for sure. Like I could see a 5-7 season. I could also see a 8-4 season, maybe even better than that. So I think I'll kind of stay in the middle of that. I'll give him 7-5. And he's probably used to being Oregon and one of the better overall teams, but this might be a little bit more of a challenge with Arizona State. Let's go to let's see here. Who is next? Boise State is in the Pac-12. Deegan decided. Well, I think he put a bid on USC. Didn't get USC from Joker, but ended up with Boise State, who he was in the last Dynasty. So that's going to be a challenge in and of itself, because 76 overall is, not going to be the easiest, especially going up against the high 80s, even some 90 overall teams. This Pac-12's very deep, so it's going to be tough for him, but I do think Deegan is a pretty good user. It's kind of hard too, right? Because like his schedule is made up of a lot of guys that we're not super familiar with. You free OHG, T-Bird, and then Jocko. So like I think his schedule could go really hard one way or the other, but I do think he's a good user. I'm feeling like I'm gonna give him 8-4. I'm gonna give him 8-4, which might seem like a lot, but I just know because I've played Deegan before, and he's very talented at this game. I think DJ's played him in Madden as well, and he said he was pretty good. So even with the lower overall, I'm thinking he finds a way to, have a pretty good season. I don't think we're looking at a guy that's gonna make the playoffs or be in the Pac-12 championship, but I think 8-4 with this roster would be pretty good.
Well, after that information, I guess I'm gonna go with 6-6 then. I don't know.
Yeah, there's just a lot of toss-ups. I mean, I think it's just gonna be hard for pretty much anybody, if you're not one of those top couple guys, to string a lot of wins together, playing so many other users. But it'll be interesting to see like how he develops this team and how he's able to recruit at Boise State. That'll be a big challenge. Obviously, Boise State doesn't have the biggest budget, but I'm kind of trusting the talent here that he'll be able to figure it out. BYU, I think, is next up. I think there's one more team in the Pac-12. This is Steezy's team. Steezy actually he wanted to get Ohio State, who ended up losing the wheel spin to Shake and had to pick after everybody else. But BYU, I mean, they're a pretty talented team. I think they've got a pretty solid budget for being what they are. But I think this is honestly a pretty manageable schedule as far as the users he's playing. I think this first game is going to tell a lot. Going on the road against Bales, I think that's going to be maybe his toughest game of the season, honestly.
Yeah.
I
got 11-1.
Oh,
He's not
11-1.
So under the pressure, there's no pressure.
I mean, he's definitely gotten a lot better at this game. I mean, 11. That is. I can see it though.
Schedule.
I can see
He's
it.
not a bad user.
Yeah, I
win
can
all
see
these
it,
games.
honestly. Like, it is in the realm of possibility that BYU does go 11-1. I think BYU's got a pretty darn good shot to make the Pac-12 championship. I don't know if I'm going to be that aggressive, just because like there are some toss-up games in here. I feel like I'm going to say 9-3, but I think he's one of those teams that it might really surprise some people. So I think that's the last one. Yeah, that is the last one, the Pac-12. So we've got just the SEC left to go, and Furch has left us, unfortunately, so we won't get to get Furch's take about Alabama. The funniest part about Alabama this year is that all 32 users put in bids. Not a single person put any bids on Alabama. They were left to the free agent pile for all the wheel spin losers. And Furch ended up winning the lottery to get the first pick among all the wheel spin losers, and as you would expect, chose Alabama. So
Yeah.
a lot of pressure on Furch to figure this thing out.
Yeah, he also chose the worst users to call out for some reason.
Yeah, one of the best teams,
That
and then
was-
settling for
And then he just goes.
Brink,
Oh,
Heredia, like
Trying to get
Deegan.
And for
Okay,
that-
we're not putting Deegan in that category. Deegan's very good. His team is just not very good. Yeah, I mean, this is. I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna get out of this team. Obviously, it's one of the best in the game, but I don't know. I'm feeling like a 6-6 would be really good for this team, considering the schedule. I mean, Florida. You got
6-6?
Florida,
You
Indiana.
said 6-6?
You think that's too high?
I think that's too low.
I mean, you look at this, like, after
That's
these
3-0. That's
it
3-0,
should
right?
be, but like, Brink
it's
at
Furch.
Clemson,
I think Furch has gotten better at the game. I've seen him like
He doesn't have
blow out turf.
Georgia,
Before.
Tennessee, Indiana,
But
at
I mean,
Florida,
I guess
at Ole
looking at the
Miss.
second half of the schedule. I think he gets a grit and grind. He wins one of the two of Georgia and Tennessee. Trap game.
They're both at home.
Trap game, yeah. I don't know which one.
Indiana is at home. Yeah.
I think he goes 8 and. I mean, is 8-4 generous? I feel like 8-4 is like.
I mean, that's what he should go with.
That's what he should go. Maybe I'm like thinking like. Because I think you lost to Ole Miss, lost to Florida. Where is there another like guaranteed loss? Really? I
Ole
don't
Miss?
really. Yeah, Ole Miss and Florida, but outside of that, it's like he has a actual chance to win.
I feel like if he
games.
drops this one, we
we
know what kind of
year.
season we know what kind of season.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say 8-4. I think maybe I'm like adding the overall team aspect as well. I'm gonna go 8-4.
All right. Did you say what you're thinking, Tiger?
I mean, he should go. What was it, 8-4?
I mean, you got Alabama. You should make the playoffs.
Make
right?
the playoffs.
Like,
yeah.
But the first factor,
the
I got
user
a
factor.
couple wins for that, and for that, I'm going 6-6.
I'm really selling high off. Like I'm really going for it with this first prediction.
There's no respect calling out the bad users, the lesser users.
Yeah.
No powerhouses. None of the guys that you expect to win a championship.
Okay.
All right. New user here. How long has he been in the Discord? Like, has he been
Not
racing
even
a long
like
time?
2 months. Not even.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Not even like a month. I don't think. His first race, I think, was before Portland. So.
Okay. Well, free. I think it's expert, but it might not be. So, I was gonna call him just free, but there's free OHG too. So, anyways, Auburn didn't have a good season last year in real life, but they do have a really good roster here. And he seems to be like really active in the CFB Discord, so I'm imagining like he's put a lot of hours in this game already, and I actually think he's gonna come out and have a pretty solid year. I think there's a lot here. I'm gonna just take a leap of faith, I guess, and this second half of the year is you got 3 CPU games down here, and then you got Furch. T-Bird, we're not super sure. This game's gonna be tough at Ole Miss. Georgia, not sure. DBJ. This is a team that I think could really surprise us. Like if he turns out to be a really good user, like if he's really good, like this is a 10-2 schedule.
Yeah, we just gotta see, and I feel like the first 3 games are a great test
It'll be,
of like Steven, who we don't really know, Ricky, who is still kind of unknown as well, and then Florida, obviously the big test against DBJ. Like if you get spanked by 30 or 40 by him, then it's like okay, so. But I think Auburn is a better overall rated team than Florida, so to my knowledge. But
he does. It is a very, very good team that he's got to work with, and it looks like a lot of these. It's roughly half and half, like away, home against the user games. But I'm gonna be safe, and I'm gonna say 8-4 to be safe. But I could see 10-2 if he goes 10-2 this season.
Say 8-4.
Yeah.
9-3 could hypothetically put him in a playoff discussion. Because we've seen when Andrew was Auburn, he made the playoffs, I believe, or he was like 12th or 13th one time. So.
Yeah.
I think good tests early in the season. Miami, Texas Tech. We'll see how it goes.
Tiger?
I mean, yeah, I don't know. So I would guess. I mean, 8-4. Schedule isn't bad.
I don't think it's
This
too
first
bad,
three
really.
games will definitely kind of be that tell.
Yeah. All right. Let's see, what is up next? All right,
Here we go.
DBJ's schedule.
Oh,
Out of the gates.
I mean, just
There they all are.
yeah, the Holy
This-
Trinity. All you're missing is who left Hail State. That was the
Yeah.
Holy Trinity of there was like
Sweats.
the big three, yeah. And for anyone else, it's just like a gauntlet, but for DBJ, and I think he should look at that as respect for us, but giving him a harder schedule. I think this is the hardest schedule I've seen.
If he goes, for anybody else, like this is an absolute gauntlet for him. I think if he goes less than 4-1, he's upset. I think if he goes 5-0 here, you might as well just book
Then-
Florida for.
Yeah. At least the round of at least the Final Four.
Yeah, this is. I mean, yeah.
And
It's
if
it's
you-
all right here, and then we scroll down. We got a little bit of a reprieve, and then
Yeah, like way lighter, like a way lighter. So if he can, I think, considering the QB factor,
yeah, Florida does not have the greatest
Yeah.
quarterbacks. That is going to be a challenge for him. The skill positions are very, very good. They've got a lot of speed on the outside. So he's going to have to get creative, and DBJ is obviously super knowledgeable at this game. Like he's going to be able to figure that out. But I think it's almost tougher having this gauntlet right here. I feel like where if he had like this second half at the top, it might give him some opportunity to sort of learn exactly what he needs.
yeah.
And then work into this, but a couple of these might catch him off guard. I'm just not sure yet.
I think having them early is gonna help him in the way that his team will be fresh. He doesn't have to worry about injuries. I mean, like the wear and tear if he has to play all these guys
Yeah.
later in the season. For a lower overall team would matter. I think the unknown of everything in these first few games, I think, will help him as well. Just because Oregon has to play DJ, this is a new team. Electric's a new team, and it's a new team for all these guys besides Jackson. So we'll see how the randomness of that. But I think there's a little bit more vulnerability for DBJ than the last few CFBs. I'm gonna say 10-2. I think the overall will lose him a game or two in these first 5, and we'll just see which ones it'll be. I think the Oregon game he'll lose just because I think the overall
I think
will matter in that
these
first game.
being at home is also somewhat notable.
Yeah, and that helps. That kind of
yeah.
cancels out the disparity there. So
Yeah, and the Swamp is obviously a tough place to play. So yeah, I'm actually gonna say 11-1. I think it's obviously really tough at the top here, but I just DBJ won the sort of preseason tournament that we hosted, and I've no doubt that he's gonna put the time in and try to figure out how to best play with Florida, and I think obviously they're ranked 25 now, maybe not the highest overall, but I think if he goes 11-1 with this schedule, by the time we get the playoffs, you're probably looking at a guy that can be the number 1 overall seed going into the playoffs. So
yeah,
Tiger.
Yeah, I got 10-2 too. I think Oregon and Oklahoma might be the spots.
All right. Let's go to
Mason.
Mason. 94 overall.
Georgia, and
team.
no one even messes with. No one even dares put 10 on Georgia.
No. Yeah. So it's a lot of users. There's what? Is that 10? 10 users? I think it's 10. One, two. Yeah, it is 10. So I mean, it's another situation where you take a team that's this highly overall, and it's just gonna work out like this, where you gotta play all these guys. So Mason, I know, is kind of feeling a little bit down on himself, playing this game the last couple of weeks and feeling like, maybe the glory days are behind him as far as CFB goes, but obviously he knows the ins and outs of the Georgia roster like nobody else in this league would, and that's probably going to be his best friend. But I think this first half of the season is going to be very important for him. I think all of these are winnable games. Shake, we're not really sure like how locked in he'll be. Heredia, you got a couple CPU games. Picard, not really sure where he's at with CFB. Home against Mike G is relatively new. Furch, Auburn user, we're not sure. Then Dang. I mean, honestly, the more I'm like looking at this, like if Mason kind of like locks in, this
is an 11-1
this
schedule.
11 and
I don't know
1.
about 11-1, but
I mean, you got
It should be 11 and 1, 94 overall Georgia, but DBJ Jackson, I think he beats Captain Dead. The overall difference there. If Auburn is good, and the first game could be interesting. I'm gonna say 9 and 3. I think let's kind of temper. 9 and 3 or 8 and 4 isn't that crazy to say. I lost to Ohio State in the first week. Also, isn't that crazy to say.
Tennessee. There's a lot of toss-ups.
I'll say 9 and 3.
There's a lot of toss-ups, but there's also like I feel like it's easy to talk into like beating a lot of these teams. I think there's gonna be a lot of motivation for this one. That this might be a game of the week in week 10. We'll have to see. But I mean, if this team isn't in the playoffs, right? Like that's like a massive disappointment. Like, right? Like there's kind of no getting around that. If Mason misses the playoffs with Georgia, that's that just can't happen. I'm gonna say 9 and 3. I think that seems about right. I think there's probably a for sure loss against Florida. This game could get interesting, but I think there's just a couple other that could catch him out like this. Well, I know that I don't think McCart has actually beat Mason in the Dynasty, so maybe McCart will be extra motivated for that. But this could be a loss. I just think 9 and 3 seems reasonable. I mean, playing 10 users is gonna be tough. So having only 3 losses through all of them would be pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. LSU in Dang.
Oh. Here we go. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
A lot of users.
A lot of users at the top here, and then he actually kind of got a little bit of a break, dare I say, like in conference play. It's Florida. I don't see Florida there. Oh wow.
No Florida. No.
I guess Georgia's there and Ole Miss. Yeah. Tulane is in the SEC.
Rivalry. Oh,
yeah, that'll be a big one.
He kind of did not get. He kind of got away with one.
Yeah, I mean it's. But again, like this is another user where the attendance or we're kind of questioning how long he'll hang around for. I don't think many people are too familiar with seeing Dang play in the past, so that's gonna be tough to say, but assuming that he's here for this full schedule, I mean, he does have LSU, who's one of the best teams in the game. Just by the overall, you would think he'd take care of these two. These next two are probably a little bit tougher.
Yeah, and then these three are like, you're going to have to, but I think that's a good test. Like the first few games are kind of easy. You have a difficult game against Jackson, and then by week 7, you should have learned that'll probably be honestly, like almost 2 months from now. That's probably far to say, but at least a good month and a half away. So I definitely think that by the time we get to that point, a few weeks into this, like he should have played the game enough to know how to go into Georgia, BYU, and Tennessee. So I will say he goes 6-6 with LSU.
I'm a little nervous about some of these CPU games and not necessarily showing up for those, and I mean even some of the user games in general. So that kind of tempers my expectations. I mean, just based on and here we go again.
And the one thing I wanted to say, and I think the thing about that schedule was that he didn't get Bama, Auburn, or Florida, and I think those are the three that you usually see. You see at least 2 of those 3 on every schedule, and for him to not even get one of those 3 was actually interesting to not even have them.
Yeah, it was just weird how it worked out with the schedule he got, but yeah, I think 6-6 is probably fair, like all things considered. Hopefully he sticks around for many seasons to come with us, but yeah, I think we got to see a little bit more from Deng to really get a good gauge on what to expect here. Let's see, Ole Miss, Jackson. He's got a pretty tough start to the year here. At Oklahoma,
Missouri, Penn State. For anyone in the league, probably other than like DBJ and Electric, that's honestly like a tough. These are a tough 6 games to start. And I think for him, there's going to be some losses in here, whether it's to Bales, whether it's to DBJ, whether it's to Electric, or even Z-Log. I think that'll be a close game. I think you got to think 4-2. I think if we're kind of realistic, 4-2. I think you're looking at this and calling that a good stretch. And then if you scroll down to the second half, not easy games, not necessarily cakewalks in these 3 either. So, I mean, the first game might be, but the overall difference. So, I'm going to say I can see 9-3. 9-3. Or 8-4.
I got 9-3. I think,
Yeah, 9-3 makes the playoffs.
In Georgia.
And
will be his losses.
Like, I think we've seen it in the past with Jackson, is that, when he's really locked into this game, he can be pretty dangerous. He's beat a lot of good users in the past. He's got his own way of how he likes to play. I'm sure we'll probably have a couple of these games will be game of the week, I would imagine. So we'll really get to see it up close and personal. But yeah, I mean, 9-3 seems very fair. But you could also make a case that he loses all 3 of these games, and this Florida game, and maybe even in at Georgia. So I think 9-3 to be safe. I think your ceiling is maybe 10-2, and then your floor is maybe 7-5. So, but I'll say 9-3 for this team. I think this is one of the tougher schedules, I think, especially at the top. I think we only have one team left, and that is McCart. Tennessee.
Here we go.
No week 0 matchup.
No. Opening up against Shake at home, and then you get that great matchup of the user personalities of tie.
Yeah.
And then Georgia, Ole Miss. There's a lot of
Oh,
big
wow.
ranked teams in here.
Are all his user games ranked opponents?
Yeah.
They are.
Oh.
I mean, to be fair, like, I mean, most of the ranked teams are going to be users because they all chose the best teams, but yeah.
I think this is the first schedule where I've seen that. So I think this could, if McCard can, it could be used to an advantage for him because his overall or that ranking for the CFP for the playoffs, if he loses or barely loses, he's not going to necessarily go down as much, you know. So I think that kind of gives him a little bit more leeway for his losses for the season.
Yeah.
Even a 4 loss, I could see that.
I could see that too, yeah. Especially with just how many users everybody has to play, is that, you know, I don't think there's going to be very many teams that's, you know, that has less than 3 losses. You know, I think we maybe see a chunk of 3, a big chunk at 4 losses, 5, like there's just a lot of tough games that people are going to have to play, and so... Yeah, McCard, I mean, we know that McCard really likes to run the ball, and I think that'll kind of play to his benefit with how this game seems to be going. The run blocking seems to be a lot better in this game, so that should play into his favor, but yeah, I mean, this last whole stretch maybe is a little bit easier, but first half of the schedule definitely is going to really test him, so... you think 8-4, 9-3, somewhere in that range?
I mean, I think if we're 2-2 after Ole Miss, I mean we've got a good shot at making the playoffs, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think every game after that is definitely winnable, but you know, if you can beat Ohio State, you beat Ty and Mason, he'd be looking pretty good.
Yeah.
I honestly, I mean, I think the tail of the season will be how he starts off with these first 3. Great. I think these are great tests. Playing Shake, playing Ty, playing Mason. If you leave this 3-0 or 2-1, you're kind of looking on the ups because then obviously Jackson's going to be a tough game. But then you scroll down, there's a kind of coin flip game with Alabama, coin flip game with USC, coin flip game with Texas A&M, and then we'll see how good Dank is when we get to that point in the season. So I could see 9-3. Honestly, I'll go 8-4 though. I'll go 8-4.
Okay. All right. Well, that is all of the schedules. Do we want to maybe talk about? You know, playoff predictions, or I mean, we could pick conference by conference, maybe. Like,
let's do our final 4.
Okay.
In the championship, in the playoffs.
All right.
And then our champion, and then we can pick our conference champions.
I mean, I think if yeah, okay, let's. I mean, ACC, what?
We're doing champions first? Conference champions?
Yeah, I think we'll do that. I think...
Gotta be KU and Captain Dead Dad, and this is actually tougher than it's actually closer than it might seem.
I think it's gonna be KU.
It should be KU.
I mean, it
should be KU. But I think the person who joins him in the championship could be, I think it might be Miami. I would go with that. I think Florida is the ACC champion, but Miami's in the conference championship.
I think, Miami's got a really good team, and then, you know, Brink is, you know, kind of inconsistent at times, and then Dead Dad, you know, not sure. Again, like, there might be some games he ends up having to miss, and that could put him down further, but yeah, I mean, this is just how it got dealt with, who chose what teams. You know, originally we were supposed to have a Virginia Tech and a South Carolina in here as well. Just, you know, so happened that the two people that left happen to be in the ACC,
Yeah,
so
right.
it's this is just what it is for week one. So yeah, I mean, if I don't win the ACC, I'll definitely be disappointed for sure. I think this is probably more than likely a one bid league. I mean,
Definitely. Unless
I-
Miami.
yeah, I mean Miami's ranked like the rest of these aren't. Maybe that helps them if they lose 3 or 4 games, but we'll see. The Big 12, on the other hand, it's we got 7
Very
users in here. I think we're all kind of expecting it to be in Oklahoma State, Oklahoma, like championship game.
Yeah.
I mean, outside of that though, like I do feel like Texas Tech is a little bit dangerous, just given their schedule and just the
Yeah.
team. So
Yeah, I'll say that too. I think definitely I'll say Oklahoma. The 2 Oklahomas in the championship, and then I'll go with Oklahoma. I think Electric wins it. I think the overall difference, just this first season, is going to matter more. Just because we haven't gone through the recruiting, just the fresh bone of what the game gives us. And I think third will be Texas Tech. It's kind of fourth, fifth. Like, who will be fourth out of Texas, Texas A&M, TCU, and Kansas State? I think, I mean, you can entertain OSG, but, he's kind of inactive sometimes.
I think it's
But,
got to be
yeah.
Tiger, right? Like, if it's not Tiger, I feel like we're
Right.
Excuses Club.
Yeah.
the no excuses club.
Yeah.
The male cheerleaders, right? That's got to be worth something.
Right, a little
So-
speed boost.
All right. Big Ten. This
This
is
is
kind
this
of
is like
question mark
yeah,
for me.
yeah. I don't.
very, very up in the air. This
I
conference.
mean, I got Ohio State.
I have
don't know
Ohio
how you
State.
are.
I just I don't know who the team will be joining him. I think it has to be Penn State has to be the pick, right? Ohio State,
I
Penn
don't know how
State.
Zmog plays.
I think Zmog
Yeah.
is good. Like
Good, yeah.
I don't know. I think in like
I
this
could
first
see-
year he's gonna
yeah.
be good.
I can even see Hex
Yeah.
too.
And it
like,
might be on
representing.
schedules. Who's got an easier schedule?
Yeah. And I don't think Ohio State has an easy. Well, I think just because of the overall difference, I think
Well,
They-
96
they have to be in it, right? Like I feel like it's Ohio State and Penn State for me.
I'm gonna say Penn State, Missouri. I think those are the two teams for me.
Wow.
I think they're gonna be at the top, and I think Ohio State and Indiana are gonna be like a game back of both of them. And then I don't think we can overlook Mike G either. We can overlook this team, but
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be a conference where they each have one loss.
oh yeah,
Gonna be some tiebreakers.
Nobody's getting through this unscathed.
So I think there's going to be some tiebreakers to have to get finicky with. Who knows if we'll see 2, 3, 4-way tiebreakers. But
Did
I
you
like
say
that.
Tiger?
How there's
I didn't say anything.
Oh, so your pick? You said Ohio State, right? Was your
I
pick?
did Ohio State, and then I guess a coin flipping between Penn State and Missouri to be second. Runner-ups.
All right. Pac-12.
Pac-12. I think we can all confirm DJ will be in the conference championship.
Well, he should be.
He
He
should be.
should be.
Yeah, I don't know if he will be.
But the question is, who will be joining him? There's a lot of. I think you can make a case for anyone in this. You could make a case for anyone
Yeah,
in this
you could.
conference, really. If I don't know.
Some of these teams are a little bit lower overall, though, which kind of,
I think it has to be me, right? Me or BYU. I
Yeah.
think I'm just saying because UCLA has a really tough schedule, 10 users, right? He has all of the Pac-12 as well, or most of them at least. Arizona State, the overall is lower. Colorado, I guess we'll see how good he is. We don't know how good T-Bird is either. I'm gonna say Oregon and USC, but
Yeah, I think you're right though. I think it's Oregon, as long as DJ doesn't mess around, will be there, and then yeah, I think I can't remember. Let me see actually if U and BYU. Oh well, I can't see it.
Oh, nice.
Here, let me actually go back. Because that is actually going to determine it for me. Because I do think it's between BYU and USC to get in to that last spot.
And they don't. Oh, they do.
But they do.
Week
Yeah.
12 too.
Yeah, that is going to be a big matchup. That might be a lot of ramifications in that
And
matchup.
it's his last in conference game.
Yeah. That's gonna be. Yeah, I think that's gonna decide it. So.
That'll be the game for the week.
Yeah, if it works out how we think, that would make sense.
yeah. Okay.
How many bids though do we think we get out of this? How many playoff teams? I think 3. BYU, Oregon, USC.
3?
I don't know. They might struggle though.
I think it's gonna struggle without a conference. Neo has a lot of. Remember,
That's
Neo
true.
got his 4. Turf's team, and then I guess jury's still on Colorado and Washington. But even then, like out of conference games aren't easy.
Right. I'm gonna say 3.
I'm gonna say 2. I think
Okay.
2.
Well, actually, let's. So, how many do we think make from the Big Ten?
Oh, I mean,
I think maybe just one. It might be just
one.
Just one?
Honestly,
I mean, is there anyone that really moves the needle?
I mean, we
Maybe
have to have
besides
12.
Penn State.
We have to have 12
I mean, I
playoff
guess.
teams,
I mean,
and
who-
we already
How much have we said so far?
we said that the ACC probably
We
is
get
a one
one.
bid league. The Big 12,
12 is-
we're gonna get at least 2 of these 2, and then
Oh,
I think we might get
Texas
3.
Tech.
I mean, I think we get 3.
Texas State,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
Texas
4.
Tech,
I think, yeah. So that's
So-
4.
Big 10. would
Penn
be,
State,
What, 5, maybe 6. If Penn
5,
State's-
maybe 6. Ohio State.
maybe 2 from there.
And then there's a lot from the SEC that we say 2 from the Pac-12,
Well, definitely Oregon and
1
say
of
one more,
USC
one
and
more.
BYU,
so that's
and
8.
then
And then we got 4 more.
you have 4 SEC teams. You have Florida, Ole Miss,
Yeah, there won't
Georgia.
Ole Miss.
there won't be any
And then-
CPUs.
Well,
Alabama.
then who
I mean,
else? It's not
Not
Alabama.
Alabama.
That much.
Auburn. I could
Could
see
be
Auburn.
Auburn. They've got a
There's a
yeah.
lot of question marks.
I could see Auburn. But I could see like probably 20 to 25 people making the play. I can make an argument for them to make the playoffs in
Yeah.
this league. So everyone, it's going to be tight around that 2-loss, 3-loss buffer that we all kind of have these teams at.
Yeah.
But I think we all have these teams in the SEC going, maybe besides LSU, at least 8-4. I think we all said maybe I don't think you guys said that for Alabama, but
Yeah.
I think for me, I'd say 8-4 for all these teams are better.
All right. Yeah, I think. See, I don't think any conference. I just don't think any conference is getting 4. I mean, I guess
That
it
is a lot,
kind of.
though. A fourth of the, but I mean,
Yeah.
these are the names of the names in the college football. So
Right. It's but a lot is going to be determined on those out of conference matchups. Like we got a lot of
Yeah.
good ones. So. All right. Well, I guess let's just
Did we say our
put in.
champion?
Yeah.
Conference champion?
Let's give our. Oh yeah, we actually didn't. Who do we think wins the SEC?
the SEC, oh, Florida for sure.
Florida for sure. Who do we think joins them in
I
there?
don't know. I mean, Georgia. If Georgia plays good,
Yeah.
Mason figures it out, and he commits to it. I could see him pulling an upset.
I feel like I lean Ole Miss to join, but yeah, Georgia or even Auburn, if they made it, I don't know if it would shock me. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, I guess let's do our final four predictions then.
Hey,
I
preseason
mean,
There we go.
I think
I think
If we're going off the four best.
it's
should
hard.
Oklahoma,
Oregon, Oklahoma.
Oklahoma State, and Florida.
The thing that's going to make it tricky, though, is that Oklahoma and Oklahoma State are in the same conference, so one of them is not going to get a bye. And they
Yeah.
might have to end up taking out one of those
The
other
fifth
three.
seeded.
Yeah.
Like a 5-12, and they're on the like. I feel like if Andrew doesn't win the conference championship, that's going to hurt him more than Electric, because if Andrew has to go 79 overall versus a 94 overall Ohio State on the road as a 5-12 matchup, hypothetically in a world, that's going to be
Right.
difficult, or even Ole Miss
Right.
in that situation. So I think out of those four names, I think one of them won't make it, just because I think the way
Yeah.
the bracket will unfold. I will say Oregon, Oklahoma, Florida, and Ole Miss.
Mm.
One of those SEC teams.
But I can also see Penn State. But I'm going to say Ole Miss.
Is it crazy to say Ohio State? Why make an appearance?
No. I mean,
Shake
I
just
don't think
needs a
Shake's that
double
bad.
out of his abilities and let the offense bring him home, and let the
Yes.
overall do
He's got
do
a
the rest.
96 defense. Like,
Right? Like Shake, all he needs is a double.
he
Like
just needs to base it really.
right. Let the overall kind of do
Nothing
everything
fancy.
else, and we'll see where it gets him.
yeah, I feel pretty strongly about those top three that you mentioned of Oregon, Florida, and Oklahoma. I think they all should probably win their conference, and based on how it works out, they should all probably be in the Final Four. But then that last one, I think it's tough, because it's probably going to work out where Oklahoma State, if they don't win, like you mentioned, they're going to have to be in a position where they might knock one of those out, or it's going to be a game. I like Ole Miss. Trying to think.
We'll get a band formation from Ole Miss by then.
Yeah, that might really shoot them down the list of contending, right? If they don't make
Yeah,
it.
a band rule.
Yeah, another one we gotta
I'll
add.
do those four.
I'm gonna say. Why do I feel like the team I'm thinking about is like they weren't ranked?
Yeah.
Who did I say?
Oh my gosh.
Alright.
I actually just looked at PFL. Oh no.
Oh no.
Big.
Week 0 user games. Senate Majority Leader.
Oh boy. Alright, yeah. I mean, I think it's those three, and then, yeah, I'll also say Ole Miss. I feel comfortable with that. I think Tiger City's going to take Ohio State for the last one, so. Yeah. Alright, well, we can get out of here. I don't know how long we've been on here, probably quite a while, but,
2.5
Hours.
Yeah.
One little deep dive so no one can see.
Yep.
Everyone got their love.
Everybody got to hear their
Except for
name and
Except for
yeah. So, but yeah, thanks for joining us. I think we will sim to week 0 tomorrow at some point, and then we'll slowly release some of the game of the weeks. We hope to do a lot more broadcasts on the channel in the future, and definitely excited about doing a bunch of those games. But glad we got all 32 users in here. It seems like it should be very competitive. So thanks to Joker and Tiger for joining us, and everybody else that was in this booth at some point tonight. But we will catch you guys very, very shortly.